Okay, so now we're going to work on finding the equation of a parabola. So far we know the vertex form. We know that the vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And whenever you find the vertex formula, you'll have a number substituted in for the a number substituted in for the h, and a number substituted in for the k. So that means we need to figure out what a is, we need to figure out what h is, and we need to figure out what k is. So let's see what the problem tells us. Well, first of all, it tells me that I have the equation of a parabola with a vertex of 1, -4. So the h is 1 and the k is -4, because anytime I'm given a vertex, it's always in the form h comma k. So if they tell you the vertex, you know the h and you know the k. So check and check. So at this point, I know that I can write y equals a times x minus, and I'll substitute in the 1, and then I'll substitute in the -4 for h and k. Just don't forget to bring down all the other parts squared. Okay, problem though, I still need to figure out what this a is. So here's what you're going to do. You are going to use this other point. It just says that it passes through the point -2, -1. That's a random x value, and that is a random y value. So what you're going to do is you're going to substitute in the x and y to find a. And here's what that will look like. That will look like, so the y is -1, so -1 equals the a, which I don't know, times x, which is -2, minus 1 squared minus 4. So what I've done, let me grab a highlighter. What I've done is I've taken what I had here and I changed it so that I substituted in the -1 for the y and the -2 for the x, given this information right there. So now we're going to simplify everything that we have. I lost my pen. Here we go. -1 equals a times -3 squared minus 4. Bring that information up over here. I'll have -1 equals 9a minus 4. Add 4 to both sides. We get that 3 equals 9a. Divide both sides by 9, and 1/3 equals a. So now I have my a value. Highlight everything that I know. I know that my a value is 1/3. I know that my h value is 1, and I know my k value is -4. So I'm going to take all of that information and substitute it into my vertex form. I lost my pen again. So again, the vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. But I know that the a value is 1/3 now. 1/3, I know h is 1, x minus 1 squared. Don't forget that squared, because otherwise you'll have a linear equation, plus -4. Now that plus -4 is not necessary. We can enter that as just -4. So I'll just leave it as a -4, and that is my equation. Okay, then scrolling on down, example 4, turn the page. Right, the graph shows the equation of the flying disc with respect to time. Oh, a frisbee. What is the equation of the function? What's the equation in vertex form? And then write the equation in this form right there, which is called standard form. So first let's work on writing it in vertex form. It tells me the vertex, so I know that h is 10. I know that, h is 2 and k is 10. And then they give me this other point. It does happen to be the y-intercept, but I'm going to use it as my x and my y. So I'm going to do what I just did in example 3. So I'm going to go ahead, take my vertex formula, y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And I'm going to substitute h, k, x, and y, all that in so I can solve for a. So the y I'm going to put in the 4, a I'm solving for, the x I'm going to substitute in 0, minus the h, I used the 2, but I wrote h again, so let me erase. Zero minus 2 squared plus the k is 10. Simplify everything I have. 4 equals a, negative 2 squared is 4, so a times 4 plus 10, but I really don't like the way that looks. 4 equals 4a plus 10. Then I could subtract 10 on both sides. 4 minus 10 is negative 6 equals 4a. Divide both sides by 4, and I get that a equals negative 3 over 2. So now I know a, now I know h and k, and that information is going to allow me to write the equation in vertex form. So y equals the a is negative 3 over 2 times x minus the h is 2 squared plus the k is 10. So there's vertex form. Done. Pretty much the same as example 3, except looks like a word problem. But also notice that in this problem, they're asking us to write the equation in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now that form is called standard form, which you'll work on a little bit more next section, but this is a preview. So that's standard form. And so to transfer in a standard form, what you'll need to do is you'll need to do the algebra. So I'm going to copy the problem down, y equals negative 3 over 2 times x minus 2 squared plus 10. The algebra being, I need to simplify all of this out. So whenever you're doing algebra, make sure that you follow order of operations, x minus 2 squared, so that tells me I need to square x minus 2 first. And when you square x minus 2, that means you write it out twice, and then you need to multiply that together. So I'm doing algebra here. So x minus 2 times x minus 2 is x squared. X times negative 2 minus 2x. Negative 2 times x is another negative 2x. And then 2 times negative 2 is plus 4. Okay. And I'm going to bring everything else down. Plus 10 at the end. Are there any like terms in the parentheses? Oh, yep, I can combine those two like terms. So y equals negative 3 halves times parentheses x squared minus 4x plus 4, and then plus 10. Then I can distribute the negative 3 halves to all three terms inside the parentheses. So y equals negative 3 halves x squared plus, let's see, negative 3 halves times negative 4 is plus 6x minus 6 plus 10. But then I've got like terms right there. Negative 6 plus 10 is positive 4. So I'm just going to change that part. Let's get my eraser. Negative 6 plus 10 is the same as plus 4. And so there's the standard form. So some of your questions will ask you to write it in vertex form and then change it to standard form. So basically when you're working with vertex to standard, to get it to change to standard, you need to follow order of operations, and then simplify algebraically. And so just to reiterate, the order of operations I followed, so I had my original thing, then I squared x minus 2, so that's what I was doing right here. I just multiplied the x minus 2 together, that's squaring it. Then once it was squared, I had to combine some like terms. Then you distributed the negative 3/2. Then you could combine like terms at the end. All right, then example 5. I think we're only going to do one of the problems in example 5. Let's do example 5a. Okay, so example 5a says, what is the equation of J? Write the equation of the vertex, or in vertex form. Oh, again, we're going to transfer vertex and to this form. And again, we're only going to do part A because I think we're going to run out of room. So J is a quadratic function whose graph is a translation 2 units to the right and 5 units down. Okay, so let's say of the graph of x. And what they didn't tell you is that f of x is the parent function, x squared. All right, so if I want to move this 2 units right and 5 units down, and it told me the equation's name is J, so I should say J of x. 2 units right means I need to subtract 2 inside the grouping symbol. So x minus 2 squared, 5 units down, minus 5. Here's my equation in vertex form. We'll label it vertex. And again, it's in vertex form because you can see the vertex. The vertex would be positive 2, negative 5. Okay, then it says write it in the standard form. So that means I need to do some algebra. Let me change my colors here. So I'm going to do some algebra here. So J of x equals, I'm going to square x minus 2, which means I write it out twice. Then subtract 5. So J of x equals x minus 2 times x minus 2. I'm going to get x squared minus 2x minus another 2x plus 4, then minus the 5. Combine all my like terms, and J of x equals x squared minus 4x minus 1. All right, so that is minus 1. Yeah, so that is the standard form. So those are both vertex and then standard form. Okay, so that should be all you'll need to know to get through the sections problems for this assignment. You'll have an assignment in Math Excel. If you have any questions, please contact me or schedule a help session. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next class.